my turn? Okay, ready? Got it. All right. I think a happy birthday would be appropriate. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Eleanor. Happy birthday to you. Well, I'd like to have everybody say a few words to this afternoon, and I'll start out and just say thank you for coming today. I want to thank Anka and Olympia for giving us this venue to have the birthday party today. I was sitting around with Babe, we call her Babe, those in the family, and in fact, a couple of years ago when she was at the courtyard, our son came to see her and went to the front desk, and they said, who are you here to see? He said, my Aunt Babe. And they said, yeah, well, what's her name? And he said, I don't know, it's just So, can you hear me, Babe? Of course you can. Anyway, we were around yesterday kind of talking, and for some reason we were talking about turning 100, and Babe said, you know, 100 years, that's a long time. It is a long time. So we went back to the hotel. Can you hear me, Babe? Yeah.
Yes, I can hear.
You can hear it. Interfering wife. So anyway, we went back to the hotel, and Steve got on the computer, and we thought, well, you know, what was it like in 1912? What was going on in 1912? So Steve pulled up some things, and I'm just going to tell you what it was like in 1912 to relate this. The life expectancy of a woman was 51.8 years.
Wow.
You hear that, babe? Half, almost half, just half of a year.
Only got 4 more years.
The population of the United States, which I thought was pretty good, was 92, a little over 92 million. I thought it was a lot of people for
That's
that.
all?
And now it's like 330 million.
12.
The annual income was $750. That's all people made per year, unless you were a Ziegfeld girl, and you made $75 a week. That was pretty good.
But that was real money.
That was real money. The Dow Jones Industrial was at 88. Close Friday at over 30, a little over 13,000. A brand new home, which is relative, was $2,750. You could buy a brand new car for $941. We were just looking at a Tesla in the shopping center yesterday. I think the base price was $101,000. A quart of milk. What do you think a quart of milk was?
10 cents.
22 cents.
8 cents. How about a loaf of bread in 1912?
3 cents.
Right on. Were you looking over my shoulder?
No.
Yeah, it was one loaf of bread. A quart of eggs was a quart of egg. A
I mean,
quart.
how about a dozen?
A dozen eggs.
A dozen eggs.
30 cents.
Eggs was
Here's the shocker. Steak. Bought a steak. How much per pound?
No.
25 cents.
$1.20.
20 cents.
For what?
20 cents. How about a stamp? A first class stamp?
10 cents.
A
Huh?
penny.
It was a penny, wasn't it, still?
5 cents.
Post office.
2 cents.
Jack was right.
2 cents. And if you wanted to
You don't
take a
remember?
12-day cruise,
On the Titanic. We haven't gotten there yet.
we're getting to that.
That was 5 days.
$60. That's for the penthouse on a cruise ship. $60. Who was president in 1912?
McKinley? No. Taft.
Taft. William Howard Taft. And who was the president-elect in November?
Wilson.
That's right. Woodrow Wilson. Who was the prime minister of Canada?
Like I already did that anyways.
McDonald?
I'm like, as opposed to now.
Was Canada a country in the East?
Was there one?
Yeah. He was the 8th prime minister. It was Robert Borden.
Of Canada?
Who was the
or-
King of England?
King
19
George.
George.
V.
That we haven't had is,
Edward.
You're
George
right.
the Fifth.
King George V.
oh,
Edward died already.
And the 47th and the 48th state in the Union were admitted in 1948. What were they?
So 1912.
Arizona.
That wasn't a fair
Mexico?
question for you.
We're not Arizonans.
New Mexico was the 47th and Arizona was the 48th. And the Girl Scouts was formed that year in Savannah, Georgia. And then the most significant event that year, besides the birth of Eleanor Poplack, are you with us, Dave? Dave?
she's nodding at you.
No, because my voice is projecting as much as it will. The Titanic, that was the most significant event of that year. So I want to thank all the out-of-towners who came, besides the people that came, Arizona, and back east somewhere,
Washington,
Maryland,
D.C.
Washington, D.C., and
Calgary.
Calgary, and Vancouver, British Columbia. So, Eleanor, you have to, are you with us? You here? Okay. So I'm going to turn it
It's been on
over
the whole
to
time,
my
but just because you
cousin
can hear
Mel.
them now that they're standing right
Say
there.
a few words,
Because
because
I couldn't hear.
he's not a man of a few words.
I'm like, it's been that
For
whole
those
time.
who know,
I'm just a photographer. No excuses.
I'm Eleanor's oldest nephew, and there's only an older but we have I have an older sister, and unfortunately she can't do it. We all grew up with Eleanor more than all the other nieces and nephews because Eleanor lived in Vancouver, was born in Bellingham in 1912, and in 1917 she moved to Vancouver with a family, and she lived there till she came here to Portland and got married in Portland. And during those years we grew up, and Eleanor was always at our place because my mother was the oldest of the family. There were 6 children. There was the 4 girls, and where the babe comes, Eleanor was the youngest of the girls, and they called her Babe. And I think most of us all, till she got married, and her husband insisted that we not call her Babe anymore, and call her by her name Eleanor, that all of the cousins and everybody only knew her as Babe. But then her 2 brothers came along after, but they didn't call any of the youngest brother the baby or anymore. It was always Eleanor was the baby. And you say stories. I just want to relate one story. I grew up, especially in my younger years, during the Second World War. You couldn't travel and everything. And before Eleanor left, in 1947, she says to me, "Would you like to come to Bellingham to visit all of the relatives?" So I had never been on a train, and never stayed overnight in a hotel, because when we grew up, wartime people have to understand, you never traveled. So we go to Bellingham on the train, and she's telling me, this is the house I was born in, because she lived there until she was 5. We went to see a relative to still running a grocery store, the Griefs. I think some of you will know who it is. This is the school where my mother started school, and it was a wonderful time. And to just enclose, Eleanor and Morris were married in our living room in our house in Vancouver, which would have been many, many years ago. And I'll leave the thing.
Well, the other thing with the nicknames is we only knew Mel as Sonny.
I'll tell you why.
Why is that?
Why is that? I'm named after her father. And his name actually was Isidore, and they nicknamed him Sonny.
We're not there yet, though.
So when he had already passed away before I was born. So until I started grade 1.